Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer and get in-show credit on every episode. Hi everybody, and welcome to Off the Cuff. Well, today's show is about something square that makes us feel really comforted. No, not Dean Martin's greatest hits, although I hear that's quite good. Yes, today's show is about brownies. I'm gonna make sugar-free, delicious brownies. Now, I did do that about 5 years ago. There they are. They were good. But I have to think that maybe in the past 5 years, I've improved a little bit in the kitchen, and I did find a more advanced recipe. So that's what I'm going to use today. Also, I'm going to be making Brownie's cousin, Blondies. No, that's Blondie, the comic strip from the 30s. That's Deborah Harry, the lead singer of Blondie. Yes, there they are, Blondies. Now these are just brownies made without chocolate. I mean, you can use white chocolate, you can use raisins, I'm gonna use peanut butter. They're gonna be really, really good. Both the brownies and the Blondies are going to be sugar-free. Also taking it a step up, I'm gonna make icing for both. For the brownies, some chocolate icing, and for the Blondies, peanut butter icing. Doesn't that sound good? It really sounds good. I mean, everybody loves brownies. Now, recently at a local comedy club, our friend Hackey McGeggy was back in town, and guess what? He's into brownies too. Watch.
Okay, folks, your next comic is back despite popular demand. You know him, you tolerate him, and he's all about brownies. Please welcome the fantastic Hackey McGeggy!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? I'm Hackey McGeggy, like the man said, and I love brownies. Who here loves brownies? Yeah! Yeah, we all love brownies, right? Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, though, my mom never made brownies. Oh, yeah, never. Well, actually, that's wrong. She made brownies twice, yeah. My sister Susan and Carol, they were brownies in the Girl Scouts. Get it? You see where I'm going? That's the old switcheroo. Yeah, but I used to love brownies in elementary school, didn't you? Yeah! Did you know they were in elementary school because of a court order? They were. I bet you know it, too. Brownie versus Board of Education. You didn't see that one coming. That's the kind of comic I am. Yeah, I just slide them on in there, yeah. But in elementary school, the brownies they served at lunch were amazing. We would circle on the cafeteria calendar when we were going to have brownies. And you know what? Nobody was ever absent or sick on Brownie Day. They may have been sick, but they'd show up to the cafeteria in their pajamas and their robe, holding an IV tree going, yeah, just give me my brownie, please. Don't worry about these red spots. Seriously, they were insanely good. As a matter of fact, kids from junior high and high school used to pretend to be young kids to get the brownies. And they didn't fool anybody. They came in there going, yeah, how you doing? Oh, I'm in 3rd grade. I'd like a brownie, please. Nobody got fooled. But they gave it to them anyway. That's just the way it was. I mean, what was in those brownies? Speaking of what's in them, when I was in college, my roommate, he made a whole tray of pot brownies. Ooh. Yeah, but he made one mistake. He forgot to tell me. I came home, I saw them, and I made a pig of myself. Yeah, he came back home 2 hours later. I was in the shower singing In-A-God Vita with all my clothes on. Not just the clothes I was wearing, all the clothes in my closet. It was crazy. Now, folks, that is comedy. But my time is running short, so I'm going to do some impressions. You guys like impressions? Yeah! Great! Okay. Here's my first impression. It's a movie we all know and love. This is from Back to the Future. Back to the Future. Hope you like it. Let's watch. Marty, when this oven, it's 388 degrees. You're gonna see some serious stuff. Wait a minute, Doc. Are you trying to tell me that you made a time machine out of a brownie? Back to the Future. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, that was good, huh? Yeah, that was good. Here comes another favorite of mine now. Bullwinkle and Rocky. Bullwinkle and Rocky. Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a brownie out of this hat. Again? That trick never works. This time for sure. Ooh, I guess I should have turned the oven on. That Bullwinkle always cracked me up. Here's another impression, one of my favorites. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. Hey, Scoob, you want a Scooby snack? Brownie. Zoinks, Scoob! Thank you so much, thank you. And for my final impression, my absolute favorite, from All in the Family, Archie and Edith Bunker. Here we go. Archie, look, Mrs. Lorenzo sent over a tray of brownies. Whoop-de-doo there, dingbat. Now send me over a tray of beer. Thank you so much. That's all my time. My name is Hackey McGeggy. Eat those brownies. See you next time. Later. Okay, let's get started. Let's make those brownies. You'll need 1 cup of almond flour, 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 of a cup of melted coconut oil or butter, 3 tablespoons of water, 2 eggs, 2/3 of a cup of granulated sweetener. I'm using monk fruit allulose, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now for the chocolate frosting. 4 tablespoons of powdered monk fruit allulose sweetener, 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate, 1/4 cup of heavy cream, 1 cup of unsalted butter softened, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now for those blondies. 2 cups of almond flour, 1 cup of golden sweetener. I'm using monk fruit, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 large eggs, 1/2 cup butter softened, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of sugar-free peanut butter chips, and 1/2 cup of nuts, seeds, or chocolate. That's optional. And finally, for the peanut butter frosting, 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of powdered sweetener. Like I said, I'm using monk fruit allulose, 4 tablespoons of heavy cream, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, now even though these take about the same time in the oven and the same temperature, I'm going to do them separately because I don't know if putting them both in the oven at the same time is going to detract from the cooking time of one or the other. So let's do the brownies first. Right, so one of the ingredients is 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. Well, I'm going to melt it in the microwave. Here's 1/3 of a cup. Into the microwave for like a minute. Okay, it's been 40 seconds, but I hear it sizzling. And yep, whew, that's melted all right. Yeah, what you have to do is you got to scramble the eggs first. Yeah, I've been doing this show for a while now, and even though it didn't say so in the instructions, I'm pretty sure you just don't throw in 2 whole eggs. You should really blend them up. I think I've learned that in the 7 years I've been doing that, yeah. Okay, now we're ready to put everything in. Okay, first in goes your almond flour, your cocoa powder, and by the way, you have to say it that way, cocoa powder, boom. Okay, all right, next up, your granulated sugar, plop. Oh, that goes in. That looks like a lot, but it's gonna be good. Your baking powder, again, you have to say it that way, powder, poof. Or poof, I guess you can call it. All right. Here goes your salt. There you go, your salt. It's been salted now. There you go. Yep. All right, now it's time. Let's just mix this up. Okay, mix it all together. See, it's already looking nice and just like brownies. See that? It's nice, got that color. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now we put in our water. Here we go. That's nice. In go the eggs. The eggs are in. Our melted butter. Again, pronounce it butter. And finally, the vanilla. And the vanilla goes in. Ooh, yeah, nice. It looks chocolatey already. Very, very good. It's really not a very long recipe to do. It's not. Make sure it's just really well incorporated, which it is. You take your batter and you just pour it in like that. Just pour it in. That's it. Your brownies are ready to go into the oven, into a preheated oven set at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes or so. And while those are baking, let's get going on our blondies. 2 cups of almond flour. All of it. All of it go in. All of it. The 1 cup of golden sweetener. This is actually monk fruit. That goes in. Our baking powder. That goes in. Don't want to forget to scramble the eggs, otherwise it takes longer for everything in there to get incorporated and stuff. We don't want that. There we go. Next time I'll remember. In go the eggs. In go the vanilla. Okay. In goes the 1/2 cup of melted butter. Boy, that's gonna be rich. And let's start mixing it up together. Once it starts to form, which it's already doing, these are sugar-free peanut butter chips. I had to get them online. You know, that big store that starts with an A? Yeah. And now we're just gonna mix this all together. I really didn't think there was gonna be enough liquid when I first did this, and I am surprised that it is. We're waiting on our other brownies, which are cooking as we speak. They should be done any minute. We should hear the, I set my Alexa to go off when it's ready, so. And now we're gonna put our batter in. Yeah, batter, swing batter. Bring it all in. There we go. Spread it out evenly, like that. Yeah. Now this looks good all onto itself, and you can just stop right here. But our next step is we're gonna make frosting for both these delicacies. We are ready for the oven. There you go. We just need the brownies to be ready. And when they're ready, we put these in. Okay, now we're gonna do the double switcheroo. That's what I call it. Our brownies are ready. Oh boy, do they look ready. Look at that. Yeah, now we let that cool. Put that over here. Now, it's time for our blondie to go in. It's already preheated. Same thing, center rack for 20 minutes. All right. And now we wait for this to cook. Now we have our brownies and blondies. We're gonna let it cool, and then we're gonna make the icing. But first, I think it's time you saw some food facts. Simply put, a brownie is a baked confection that comes in many varieties and forms. They can be cakey or fudgy. They can be frosted or plain. They can have nuts or chocolate chips or anything that strikes your fancy. Brownies aren't named brownies because of their appearance. They're actually named after elfin characters that used to appear in all sorts of books and stories. Despite their similar texture, brownies are not classified as cakes. Cakes are eaten with a fork or a spoon. Yeah, brownies are classified as finger food, yeah. And furthermore, they're considered cookie bars. Yeah, I'll give you a cookie bar. The brownie was invented in the late 19th century, but it didn't come into its own until the first part of the 20th century. Interestingly, its exact origin isn't known, but there are legends. Here come some legends. One legend is that a forgetful baker forgot to put baking powder in his cake batter, and the result was a fudgy, dense, delicious treat. A legend, but unsubstantiated. Another, more widely accepted legend was that of Bertha Palmer. Her husband owned the Palmer House Hotel in Chicago. In 1893, she asked her pastry chef to create a dessert for the ladies who were attending the Chicago World Columbian Exposition. She asked that it be smaller so it could fit into a boxed lunch. And hence, the Palmer House Brownie was born. It was made with chocolate, walnuts, and an apricot glaze. Even though it was officially named Brownie in 1893, the term wasn't used in cookbooks of the time. It took a number of years before the term brownie eventually made its way into the American and I guess worldwide lexicon. The first use of the name brownie in print didn't come until 1896, and that was in the Boston Cooking School cookbook by Fanny Farmer. In that book, Ms. Farmer, there she is, was referring to brownies as molasses cakes baked in individual molds. They didn't use chocolate. Yet. The first published recipe for brownies appeared in 1899 in the Machias cookbook. They were referred to as brownie food, and they appeared on page 23. There it is, yes. It was created by Maria Kelly of Whitewater, Wisconsin. Now, the earliest mention of a chocolate brownie was in Home Cookery in 1904. Then later that year, also in the Service Club cookbook. Then on April 2nd, 1905, in the Boston Globe. Then back to Fanny Farmer, who had a recipe in the 1906 edition of her cookbook. By 1907, brownies were becoming established. An adaptation of the Boston Cooking School's Bangor Brownie appeared in Lowney's cookbook by Maria Willett Howard. It added an extra egg and a block of chocolate to make it even more rich. The term Bangor Brownie actually came from a theory that a Maine food educator, Mildred Brown Schrumpf, had, that a Bangor, Maine housewife actually invented the recipe. But the Oxford Companion to American Food and Drink debunked that in 1907. And how did Mildred react? She went, Schrumpf. Come on, her name is a sound effect. In the 1920s, brownies started expanding in popularity because chocolate was becoming more accessible. Wait a minute, chocolate only became popular in that decade? No wonder they called it the Roaring '20s. As the 20th century progressed, brownies began to hit the mainstream. They were frequently found at social gatherings, restaurants, cafes, bakeries, schools, school lunches, school lunch boxes, as you heard about before. Brownies had made the big time. Now to blondies. Blondies are actually brownies, except they're made with molasses instead of chocolate, and they were denser, and some were even flavored with butterscotch. Remember those brownies that Fanny Farmer made in 1896? Well, technically they were blondies because chocolate wasn't introduced until 1906. The more you know. Blondies are golden or light brown in color, and they can be made with chocolate, white chocolate, or peanut butter chips, or nuts, raisins, or just about anything that the baker wants. The term blondies or butterscotch brownies didn't become popular till the 1970s or 1980s. Before that, they were just brownies. Yeah. Brothers from a different mother. The world's largest brownie, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, weighed 335.1 pounds and used 210 packs of Betty Crocker brownie mix. But unofficially, the largest brownie ever created was in 2001 at the Hudson Valley Chocolate Festival. It weighed 3,000 pounds and used 850 pounds of sugar, 750 pounds of chocolate, 500 pounds each of butter and flour, and 3,500 eggs. I want to know what lunchbox this is fitting in. And finally, the world's most expensive brownie is the Brownie Extraordinaire. And you can find it on the Crystal menu at the Brûlée in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The cost, a mere $1,000. It's also paired with a $750 atomizer of a rare port wine. And that's Food Facts. Yep, back at the microwave again. We need to melt 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate. And I'm gonna do it in the microwave. I'm gonna put it in for 30 seconds at a time until it melts. There you go. 30 seconds, and we're gonna keep doing it until it's melted. I can't wait till I have melted chocolate. Why am I talking like this? Okay, it's done. It took 2 rounds of 30 seconds, a minute. Now let's make our frosting. First, we put in the chocolate that we just melted. Then we put in our 1/4 cup of heavy cream, like that. And now we mix it like thus. Mix and mix and mix. Put in the vanilla. The cocoa powder. Here go the 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar. And finally, the 1 cup of unsalted butter, softened. I softened it, I did not melt it all the way. Okay, I'll put that over here. We'll clean that up. There is our chocolate frosting. Now let's make our peanut butter frosting. We put in the powdered sugar. That's a lot of sugar. And we put in the 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of the heavy cream. And we mix this together. Your vanilla. Looks nice and uniform. The peanut butter, you can use whatever you want. I don't recommend you use chunky, but if you want to use a little scudder or a little salt, a little sugar, whatever you like. So here we go. Now we're gonna mix this all together to make our peanut butter icing. Okay, put that there. There we have our peanut butter frosting. Yep, it's time to frost our brownies. This is, of course, the chocolate brownie. Now we take some of our chocolate frosting, which we made way too much of. See, the one thing I regret is I am not artistic. I am not. I'm kind of a plop and spread type of guy. You plop the icing on, you spread it. That's me. There we go. Now we're going to put this into the refrigerator just to firm up a little bit more. All right, now it's time for our blondie. There's a peanut butter. They both spread about the same. They're both fairly easy to spread. They both have about the same consistency. This one looks nicer than the chocolate, I think. My artistic skills are definitely up for debate. Probably not. This is done too. Now into the refrigerator to firm up, then we cut it, then we try the brownies. And just like that, it's brownie time. Yeah, this was actually a lot of fun and very, very easy to make. As I was making it, I'm thinking I can do this anytime, and I really can, and it's quick. And it looks like it's going to be delicious. I've never made the blondies before, but they look just like all the pictures I've ever seen, and the brownies, well, they just look delectable. Yeah. Which one do I try first? Ooh, you know what? I've never tried a blondie. Let's go with that. Okay. Blondie's gonna be first. Look at that. The peanut butter icing. Oh, wow. I got peanut butter chips inside. This is going to be epic because I love peanut butter. I really do. So here we go. Oh, I'm actually thinking, did I accidentally put real sugar in here? I didn't. This is all alternative sugar substitute, monk fruit and allulose, and it is absolutely rich and decadent and peanut buttery. Wow. I'm going to have another one just to make sure I didn't go partially insane just then. Oh no, I'm quite sane. Very rich, very tasty, very delicious. A winner. Wow. Wow. I need some milk. I need some milk or coffee. Okay, but wait, there's more to come. Now for the chocolate brownie. Oh boy, this is the first time I ever made this icing, and it just looks so good, doesn't it? It does, it really does. Okay, here we go. Man, if I didn't know better, wow. The cake or this part of the brownie, the cake part is fantastic. The icing is sweet and chocolatey. Oh my goodness. It's a decadent treat. And I say this a lot, but nobody will know this is not made with real sugar. They will not know that this is sugar-free and it's not going to impact my blood glucose. Wow, this is fantastic. Well, I have brownies for a month now. And that's about it for this time around. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, I'm back in another 2 weeks with another show and another recipe. Until then, be well, eat good.